Have you ever wondered how the rich and successful people manage to live such lavish lifestyles? From luxurious yachts, cars, and planes to exotic vacations, the world seems like a constant adventure. But what's their secret? It's all about their habits. So in this video, I've revealed to you 3 powerful habits that can transform your life, helping you achieve more in a single day than most do in 5. Get ready to learn the strategies that could lead you to the life of your dreams. Habit number 1. Organize today what you'll do tomorrow. Let's play a game. You'll get 10 questions, okay? If you answer them correctly, you'll win money. Each question is worth $1,000. However, there are 3 questions that are worth $10,000. You have 24 minutes to answer all 10 questions. But here's the thing, I will not tell you which of those questions are worth $10,000. You'll only know how much you have won at the end of the game. So the game starts. I know, I made it hard for you by not telling you which of those 3 questions are worth $10,000. But what I don't know about you is that you are a very smart person and you have already figured out the trick and know that questions number 2, 4, and 6 are the high value questions. I don't know how you did it, but you somehow figured out the trick before the game even began. Now, answer this. As soon as the game starts, which questions are you going to focus on first? The answer is obvious, right? You wouldn't move on to any other question before you made sure that you answered those 3 questions first. You see the remaining 7 questions just as bonuses if you get them right. The result? Of course, there's a very high chance that you'll win quite some money in this game because you knew the trick. Well, although this was an hypothetical game, what you don't realize is that you're actually playing this very same game every single day in real life. What? How is that? Let's take a look at your day. Are you ready? When your day starts, you get 24 hours and you get a list of tasks to do. Just like in our game, most of those tasks are worth $1,000 and only 2 or 3 of them are worth $10,000. If you can identify and prioritize those 2 or 3 high value tasks and get them done first, you will gain an unfair advantage. So just like you did in that game by prioritizing those high value questions, in life, the biggest underrated skill is probably the ability to prioritize. If you have the ability of prioritizing, you'll have success. Let me share a secret with you. Successful people don't get everything done. They don't even get most of their to-do list done. Their secret is that they have the habit of getting the most important things done. So, organizing tomorrow today is a simple habit that can help you prioritize and plan your day more effectively. And here's how it works. Every day before you eat your lunch, spend only 5 minutes planning your tomorrow by asking these 2 simple questions. What are the 3 most important things I need to get done tomorrow? And then, among these 3 important tasks, which one of them must I complete no matter what? So when you look at your list, it should have 3 tasks on top and 1 highlighted as must. And finally, several smaller tasks that you also need to complete but are not your priority. Identifying daily priorities might seem like an insignificant step to take, but doing it the previous night turns your subconscious mind loose while you sleep and frees you from worrying about being unprepared. Finally, you wake up with great ideas related to the task you hadn't even considered. Think about it, even when you sleep, your brain will provide for you successful paths to get your tasks done. This is known as the Zeigarnik effect, which states that the incomplete tasks stay both in the conscious and subconscious mind until the task is completed, because our mind hates unfinished businesses. High-level mathematicians and writers use this method a lot. Before going to bed, they take a few minutes to analyze the problem they are working on or they are stuck on. And then their mind works all night to close the loop and they wake up in the morning with great ideas. Another benefit of organizing tomorrow today is that you can go into your next day feeling more prepared and less anxious. In the morning, instead of trying to generate momentum, you will come in with momentum already in place. And when you knock off that first most important task from the list, you will be generating even more momentum. When you start applying this habit to your own life and start organizing tomorrow today, keep these three things in mind. First, don't wait until the very last minute in your day to organize for tomorrow. Do it a bit earlier in your day. Before lunch is a great time. Make a rule for yourself to organize tomorrow before you take the first bite of your lunch. Second, for some reason, if you can't work on your important tasks, then at least spend 1 minute on them. This will help you to develop the habit. And third, remember, if you don't prioritize, other people will do it for you. You are always working on priorities. The question is, whose priorities are you working on? Yours or somebody else's? Second habit, say no. You have just got home from work. Your wife and your son are waiting for you so you can have dinner together. And you sit down to eat and your son starts telling you about his day. And that's when your phone shows you a notification. A coworker needs your help to find the document. Do you remember where we left the sales report? He asks. You interrupt your son and start texting your friend. What can I do? You think. You have to help your coworker or he'll be in trouble. Well, while you do that, your family has dinner, and now your wife is the only one who knows what happened during your son's school day. I'm sure that if I ask you who is the more important to you, your son or your coworker, your answer will be my son, of course. But what you just did was trade something important for something urgent. Urgent and important are two different things, but very easy to be confused. For example, let's say you're at work trying to finish a report by the end of the day. It's a report you must submit every day by 6 p.m. While you're busy with the report, suddenly your boss sends you a message and asks you some urgent questions. If you're like most people, you're gonna stop working and answer all the questions your boss is asking until he's satisfied and goes away. You can start working on that report again, but here's the thing. You already lost momentum and quite some time as well, which means that you will probably miss the 6 p.m. deadline and work overtime. Not just that, you're also going to miss the dinner with your family again. And then when your partner asks you why are you late, you will start complaining about your job and blaming your boss, etc. I know you won't like this, I'm gonna tell you, but you are the one to blame, not your boss. You are the one who didn't have the courage to say no to your boss. You were the one who traded something urgent for something important. The right thing to do in this scenario was to explain to your boss that you were working against an important deadline and you would get back to him once you were done. Urgent things come up all the time. When you say yes to one urgent thing, you're saying no to another important thing. Just like when you said yes to your boss, you said no to your own work and your family. And yes, I know, saying no is hard. It's uncomfortable, and we've not been used to doing it, especially when the person is someone above us. But without it, life becomes impossible to handle. Once, I heard a story about a retired athlete who was always eager to help people. For years, he would help anyone in any way he could, to the point he was more burned out than he had ever been before retirement, and he was spending less and less time at home with his family. So what he did? He made a very simple change. He placed a picture of his wife and kids on his desk, next to his phone, and every time a call came in, he would stop for a moment and think about what he was really saying yes and no to. At the end, he didn't stop helping others, but he became more selective about his actions. So always remember, when you say yes to something, you're saying no to many other things. You're always choosing, so choose wisely. Put a sticky note on your computer if you have to, or change your phone wallpaper, but do whatever you need to do to make saying no a daily habit. And I don't want to sound like I've mastered these habits and I'm here to teach you. No, I'm still struggling, trying my best. I'm still catching myself reading an email on my phone while my daughter is trying to talk to me. and I'm still missing dinners because I forgot to say no. The important thing is that compared to yesterday, I am so much better today at saying no, and that's what matters. We should always compare ourselves, not to others, but where we are today compared to where we were yesterday. Okay, I went off topic here a bit, but to summarize, make it a habit to say no, especially to the things that are urgent but not important. Third habit, focus on one thing at a time. Bobby Gassoff had just finished college with the ambitious goal to join the Navy SEALs. These guys are the best of the best in the US military when it comes to combat. He prepared himself, and when he got there, he was in peak physical and mental condition. But there's something called Hell Week that he wasn't prepared for. It was designed to separate the toughest from the rest, and it was brutal. They had less than 30 minutes of sleep each night, and they were always cold and wet. By the third day, Bobby was completely exhausted. He still had 4 nights to go, and the best runner and swimmer in the group had just quit. When the trainees finally got a few minutes to eat in between activities, the instructors would walk among the exhausted men and call out the long list of brutal activities that were scheduled for the rest of the time left. This was a tactic designed to overwhelm the weak candidates and eliminate them. Bobby thought about quitting too, but instead he came up with a strategy. He would narrow his mind to a single focus point. Thinking about the 4 long days of torture that were coming was driving him crazy, so he decided to focus only on the very next step. Bobby acted as if that was the only hard thing he'd never had to do in his life and kept his one-time goal. Among the 240 men, Bobby was one of the 24 left and one of the only 2 who graduated as an officer. Bobby is an example of the power of focus. When you focus on too much, not only do you get overwhelmed, but you lose focus on the really important things. And that's one of the most common traps to fall into in business and life. Doing so not only causes underperforming, but also causes a lot of stress. It even has a tremendous negative impact on your confidence. Simply look at your own life. How much information do you have access to on an average day? Technology is amazing. It gives us the ability to receive more information, but it doesn't teach us how to prioritize that information and deal with it. So you have a full email inbox, several texts to reply to, courses you need to take to improve at work, and networking events to attend, and you still need to find time for your life. But you could also use your phone to call your loved ones. Which of these things are you going to focus on? Here's what's going to happen if you focus on too many things. You will not feel fulfilled. You will always be busy but not productive. And here's a big difference between being busy and being productive. Busy people are like a fire that produces so much smoke but very little heat. On the other hand, productive people are like intense fire with no smoke. Busy people are very good at producing a huge cloud of smoke, but they're always talking on their phone. They're always running from one meeting to another one, and they're always working overtime. There's so much smoke that when you're looking from the side, you assume that there's a huge fire going on there. But in reality, there's no fire, there's no heat, it's just smoke. The person is just busy and not productive at all. So to summarize habit number 3, if you want to feel fulfilled and productive, don't focus on too many things. Focus on the single most productive thing, the most important thing. Try to apply it to all aspects of your life. First of all, pick only one habit and work on that instead of focusing on all 3. Now, either when you are establishing one of these habits or any other habit, there will come a day when you will hit a wall, maybe on day 3 or day 13. There will come a day you will not feel like exercising. Now, probably you've noticed something is missing. One question still remains without answer. How can you build a habit? I know, it can be hugely hard. especially when most people and a lot of books say that it takes us 21 days to build a new habit. But that's not true. If you want to know why and learn how to build a new habit without failing and without losing it, don't miss the part 2 of this video, which will come up next Monday. Click on the bell below and YouTube will let you know when we upload it. Thanks for watching, and remember, with reading and education, life is always so much better.